Good afternoon, 8th graders. All right, your favorite time of day, math notes. Yay! All right, today we're going to talk about whenever you have a change in a number where you take it out and you put in something in its place. So we're talking about replacement here. This is different from today because what we talked about on today's stuff was you kept everything, but you just kind of stuck another one on. So it's just a little bit different. It's really similar, and you're probably going to see the pattern. So I'm going to go through these. So this right here is talking about when numbers are replaced in the data set. So for example, we have these four numbers. Their mean or average, so you add them up, you divide by 4. That's going to be 26 and 5/10. Now, the number that we replace is going to be 16. You can see that from right here. So 16 is going to be replaced. All right. The new number that's replaces 16 is that number, so 24. So now we need to come over here and cross out 16. In its place, I'm going to write 24. Okay. Now, the new mean is going to be when I add up these four numbers, and I don't include 16, and then I divide by 4. So when I do that, I'm going to get 28.5. So my average went up, but it's not because, well, it's not because, well, yeah, we'll see. So like you can see right now, the number that I replaced, it was actually smaller than that original mean, right? 24 smaller than 26.5, but it actually brought the average up, which is kind of different from what we talked about today, where if the number you put in is smaller than that average, it would make your average go down, but here it went up. We'll get to why after we look at a few more. Okay, so this example, our average of these three numbers is going to be 18 and 3 repeating. The number we replace is 24, and the number that goes in its place is 3. So I'm going to come over here, no more 24, 3 is in its place. I'm going to do the average, and I'm going to get 11 and 3/10. All right, over here on group 3. So our 5 numbers, add them all up, divide by 5. That gets us our original mean, which is going to be 215. Over here it tells us we're going to replace the number 315, and we're going to put in its place 310. All right, so the new average is going to be 214. So 315's away, 310's in its place, and this time I'm going to add up all the numbers and divide by 5. I get 214. Okay. Now, what I'm going to go and do is fill out all this. I'm not going to talk you through all of this because I think you get this, the kind of the setup how I'm doing it. So I'm going to fill that in real quickly. All right, so I filled in quite a bit, and go ahead and go through, and anything that I wrote down, you should write down too. And while you're doing that, I got a little joke for you. We'll see if you can, appreciate my very sophisticated sense of humor. All right. Why did the police officer smell? Why did the police officer smell? Because he was on duty. You get duty, right? Like you're on duty, but you're also on duty. Woo! All right. I know it's no whatever that fish is that Lionel likes to say, but I think it's pretty funny. All right. Um, so if you haven't finished by now, go and pause right now and complete filling it out. All right. So at this point, you should have everything I put. So let's look at the first one. Okay, so whenever I have a new number that's bigger than the replaced number, so for example, number group 4 right here. So this is the first example. My new number is bigger than my replaced number. Okay, what happened to our average? It went from 7 to 9.1, so it increased. Okay, let's see if that is true up here on another one. So it looks like group 1. my new number was 24, which is bigger than my replaced number, which is 16, and my average went from 26.5 to 28.5. It also increased. So anytime the number that you put in the place of what you took out is bigger, so anytime if you take out 20 and you put in its place 30, so you put in a bigger number, that's going to increase the average. So the mean is going to increase. And it doesn't make a difference if the number that you put in the place of the old number is bigger or smaller than the average. All that makes a difference in this situation is if it's bigger or smaller than the number it replaced. So let's look at the second rule. If the new number is smaller than the replaced number, what's going to happen to the mean? All right, so that's going to be group 5. Our new number was 1, the replaced number was 5, so new number smaller. Our average went from 9 down to 8.5, a decrease. Group 3, 310 is the new number, which is smaller than the old number, the replaced number 315. Our average went from 215 to 214. And then group 2, our new number was 3, our old number was 24, our average went from 18.3 repeating to 11.3 tenths repeating. In all the situations, when the new number was smaller than the number it replaced, the mean decreases. So, if you turn over to the back, we'll do one example together, and you'll have to do the rest on your own. All right, a listed number has an average of 25. Now, let me move this out of the way. Okay. Listed number has an average of 25. If the number 14 was taken out and replaced by 6, how would the average be affected? So like we just saw, all it matters is the number that we replace, is it going to be something going to go in its place that's bigger or smaller? So here, we took 14 out and we put in its place 6, which is smaller. So that's going to decrease it. So our average will be decreased. And that's all you need to write, decreased. Because the new number was smaller than the old number. And that's it. So you've got another 3 to do on your own. And parting joke for you. What do you call a man in a pool who has no arms and no legs? Bob! You know, because he like bobs up and down. All right. I'll see you guys later.